Welcome everyone to the Hurting Humanity channel, reimagining Los Angeles. Obviously, many of you have already seen my videos and probably many other people covering LA Smart 2028 and how they have been planning to build Los Angeles into a smart city for quite some time. But this goes back even further than when the Olympics were announced in Los Angeles. They have been reimagining what a futuristic Los Angeles can look like throughout films for the last 50 years or so. And of course, anybody out there who's new to all this stuff, predictive programming is real. They manipulate public perception by planting ideas in movies and television shows with what we're told are fictional depictions. Fictional depictions of the future, fictional depictions of what reality will look like, fictional depictions of terroristic events, all things that eventually actually happen in real life because they're desensitizing you through predictive programming, mirroring real-world events that they have planned to happen in the future. They do this throughout film. We can all look back at many events that have occurred where predictive programming has been used in the past. Obviously, when the outbreak occurred, many people were looking at films like Contagion, Outbreak, so many films that depicted exactly what occurred with quarantines and lockdowns. We could eventually look back at the past when Project Bluebeam takes place and the fake alien invasion occurs and look back at all these alien films as predictive programming because that's what they're in place for. People weren't writing random alien films because they were creative artists. They were writing them because the government was giving them the scripts to put out there because it's a form of mind control. So I talked about all of these films that we've seen that have depicted Los Angeles burning to the ground. Most prominently probably is Terminator 2, the end of the film, the nuclear apocalypse that occurs where Los Angeles is no more. And over on my Nations Conspire channel, which is my other channel that I upload on every single day, I have a video about Escape from LA and the predictive programming about the destruction of Los Angeles and how we've seen this theme throughout films going back to the 1930s, including the same exact theme with Los Angeles that eventually we will see with New York getting put underwater. They're doing this for a reason. That video is available over in the Nations Conspire channel where I go into detail about the destruction of Los Angeles and the potential destruction of New York that is coming. So I recommend everybody out there who isn't subscribed or hasn't seen the video that you go check it out. But in this video, I want to talk about San Angeles because you may have heard San Angeles before in films. It's actually a fictional futuristic concept that a lot of movies have used over the years, not just one, which should immediately raise people's eyebrows because there's repetition to the term San Angeles, right? So in other words, when you see a specific movie, if you see Star Wars, for example, there's a thing called a Death Star. It's a fictional space station. Well, if you were watching, let's just say, a movie like Aliens or something, or you were watching Apollo 13, and in Apollo 13, they were talking about and showing you the Death Star out the window of the fictional spaceship. You'd be confused. You say, wait, am I watching Star Wars or am I watching Apollo 13 or whatever other film I'm watching? Why would they put the Death Star in, which is a fictional space station from the Star Wars movies, right? Well, San Angeles appears in a bunch of random movies that have nothing to do with one another. So it tells you that there's predictive programming behind the theme of San Angeles. San Angeles is a fictional futuristic concept that refers to a large combined metropolitan area encompassing Southern California, primarily Los Angeles and San Diego, sometimes even extending to San Bernardino and Riverside. Essentially a megacity idea often used in science fiction and media to describe a sprawling urban landscape in the region. Now, why would they do this? Why would multiple different writers of multiple different movies have this concept in their mind of San Angeles? Do regular people wake up every day and say, wow, you know, maybe today's the day. I'm wondering what it would be like if San Diego and Los Angeles and San Bernardino merged together as one? No, they don't. They don't. Because this isn't a normal thing. It isn't normal to interpret this idea of San Angeles. This is what a future idea is that they have to create, which is called San Angeles, which they're planning on doing, clearly. And if you haven't heard, quietly while the wildfires are in Los Angeles, there's been reports and warnings of fires spreading or starting in San Diego. So that's something to keep an eye on. And San Angeles even has its own Wikipedia page described as the fictional futuristic concept of Southern California. And in there, they talk about all these movies that have this theme of San Angeles, which was first conceived as a setting for Blade Runner. And then the movie not in 1994, Double Dragon. And then, of course, from there, we see it in Demolition Man. There's even a 2000 Icebox.com live action web series, The Hangman, where they have a fictional detective being from San Angeles Police Department. So there's tons of predictive programming, even showing us the Power Rangers. San Angeles is a fictional hometown of the main characters in Power Rangers. There's San Angeles in the television series Sliders, right? So this is a theme that you would think, right? And I use the Death Star because people out there who have seen the Star Wars films, which I'm not one who has, but they think of when they hear the Death Star, Star Wars specifically, right? So if you saw the Death Star on Star Trek or somewhere else, you would say, this is really weird. This is a whole fictional reality written in another movie. But apparently San Angeles is a fictional reality that continues to just pop up in a lot of different movies and television series, which tells you that there's a theme of predictive programming here. In fact, in nonfiction, there's the theme of San Angeles. And by nonfiction, I mean that they've talked about this in Congress. In 2002, a political movement to have the San Fernando Valley succeeded from Los Angeles to become an independent, incorporated city of its own suggested San Angeles as the potential new name for the proposed incorporated city. So there's legs with San Angeles. Like I said, Blade Runner originally, it was written in the script that that film would be taking place in San Angeles. But most specifically, we need to look at Demolition Man. The plot of Demolition Man, for anybody out there, with innocent victims caught in the crossfire in Los Angeles, intensifying war on crime, both John Spartan and violent thug Simon Phoenix, as in the Phoenix Rising, are sentenced to a state of frozen incarceration known as cryo prison. When Spartan is finally thawed 36 years later, 36, it's 2032, and Los Angeles is now a pacifist utopia called San Angeles. A pacifist utopia. I'm going to play for you what San Angeles was depicted as in Demolition Man in 1993. We are in the year 2025. So if you do the math, that's 32 years ago. Surprised it's not 33, but 32 years ago, surprised it's not 33, but 32 years ago, when this film came out, all the technology you see today was featured in that film. And at the time when people saw this, they just thought it was some crazy idea. But some writer didn't come up with these ideas. This technology was in place. And this is how they desensitized people, even back in 1993, into this type of technology becoming a part of their day-to-day lives. You'll see in these clips things like they're trying to get done now with microchip implants. You'll see smart cars. You'll see being able to speak and have the car answer you like your phone answers you, or like the new modern technology speaks to you. And remember that the movie Demolition Man, the city was called San Angeles, and it formed after a catastrophe occurred. And after that disaster, the fascist doctor came to power by offering people an end to chaos. Does that sound familiar? Because, well, the guy who's about to be put into office is labeled as a fascist. He's marketed to us as a fascist. That's all done by design. They want you to believe in your mind that he's a fascist. Whether you believe it or not is up to you if you're freely thinking. He's an actor. But they've labeled him as a fascist. And he's also somebody who's speaking about peace and the ending of chaos and all of the crazy liberal ideologies that they've deliberately put in place to make people beg for Donald Trump to remove it and restore sanity. Or, as this fascist will tell you, restore order.
I hadn't counted on this, but I must say you worked out beautifully. I'll have carte blanche. to create the perfect society. My society. San Angeles will be a beacon of order.
Self-drive on.
Self-drive engaged. Report to the station.
Oh boy, how exciting.
While you were sleeping, everyone in the city was installed code. It was a brilliant idea. An organically bioengineered microchip be sewn into the skin. Sensors all over the city can zero in on anyone at any time.
I can't even conceive a visual of what you police officers did before it was developed.
What do you think you're scratching, caveman? You really think we'd let you go without control? Your code was implanted the second you thought.
San Angeles will be a beacon of order.
So all that technology in that film might look dated, it might look ridiculous, but at the time, it wasn't even in the thought process of people that we could live in a world that looks like that. And of course, that was San Angeles. And we all know the blueprint for Los Angeles is a smart LA. And that's what a smart LA looks like. That's what a smart city looks like. And the common theme with the smart city and Demolition Man is that it's a utopia. The smart city is a perpetually unrealized utopia. And what is the person who Donald Trump is putting into power, who was not voted in, what is he doing in Texas? What is he trying to build? What is his vision? His vision is a libertarian utopia. And I'm speaking about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is creating a utopian city. I covered this a couple months back and a couple years ago as well. The Texas Utopia, the company town, which is under dictator rules. You work for the company, which means you live for the company. Your housing is provided by the company, but you still pay rent for your housing. And isn't it a coincidence as well? I'm sure, because there's no such thing as coincidences, that Sylvester Stallone, who was the star of Demolition Man, has suddenly emerged being attached to Donald Trump. Even on Thanksgiving night, Sylvester Stallone was at Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And Elon Musk tweeted this out. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Sylvester Stallone at the Thanksgiving dinner. And Elon said, I was telling Sly that I just watched Demolition Man again and how well it predicted the crazy woke future 30 years ago. And people out there don't pay attention to what's really in between the lines there, right? They hear that, they're like, yeah, woke, that's a woke future. No. That's the future that Elon Musk and Donald Trump are bringing to you. Elon Musk is the one who's talking about utopian smart cities. Elon Musk is the one who is literally talking about implanting you with a Neuralink implant in your body. So the scene where you see Sylvester Stallone with a microchip implant inside of him, which can be embedded via an injection, that's the same exact thing that Elon Musk is trying to do. So, of course, he's obviously saying that lightly because he knows the majority of people out there can't think further than they can spit. So by saying it's a woke future, it's actually the irony of it all is that that's the future that they're trying to build now. And like I said, Sly Stallone, another one of these guys who was in on it, always been in on it, showing you the all-seeing eye symbolism. It's also interesting to note that two of the other main characters in that film, Demolition Man, Jesse the Body Ventura and Rob Schneider, are two people who have been out on the political front as well in 2024. Two people who have no popularity whatsoever, but they're getting pushed on the television set all over the media, where Rob Schneider has sided as a conservative and left Los Angeles. Jesse Ventura siding as a Democrat and talking about electing the first women's president, right? So there's no coincidences here. San Angeles has been a plan for a long time. And keep in mind the other things that Elon Musk wants to push and wants to achieve in society as he's being put in front of us, literally, as the president of the United States. I mean, they're putting him right there with Donald Trump, not even the vice president. Elon Musk has shown to us more than anyone else. And what is Elon Musk a champion of? He's a champion of universal basic income. He's predicted that universal high income will be necessary when AI replaces humans in the workforce. And who is responsible for AI replacing humans in the workforce? Who is responsible really for the AI movement and trying to get humanoid robots in people's homes and microchips in people's bodies? Elon Musk is, right? And what is Elon Musk going to bring about? Well, he's going to bring about AI governance, which is what the globalist plan has been all along that you never hear about from the alt-right media because they're controlled. The core of what you hear at the World Economic Forum, the core of what you hear all of these globalists talk about is AI governance. And right in front of your faces, it's happening. While Elon Musk is doing what? Telling you that we need less government. We need less government officials. It'll cost us less tax money. And everybody's cheering because they're saying, yeah, I don't want to pay for these buffoons' salary. They don't do anything. They don't even show up. We don't need them anymore, right? Yeah, there's truth to that. We don't need them. But guess what? We certainly don't need what's going to replace them, which is AI governance and a future that looks a lot like San Angeles. So San Angeles might seem like a work of fiction, but there's a pattern there with San Angeles. They've been showing us San Angeles a lot through movies over the years. Not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's countless films that depict a futuristic Los Angeles. In fact, most movies that depict the future show a utopian Los Angeles. And what do you think this smart LA plan is all about? Who do you think is going to clean up this mess? You're going to see more and more of Elon Musk and Donald Trump helping clean up the mess in the federal government in Los Angeles, and people are going to cheer it on, not even realizing that they're going to bring in this dystopian, utopian, smart city prison. San Angeles, ladies and gentlemen, was it a work of fiction or is it a work of reality now? Because it's looking more and more like most of these films do with the predictive programming, that it's been the plan all along. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families, as always.